boy, huh? 2016, huh? What a crazy year, am I right? Woo. Woo, lad. Fortunately, we've had some real great releases in music this year. And as you might be able to tell from the title, this is my list of top 50 dance/EDM tracks of 2016. I know the phrase EDM has the stigma of being a very marketed word, but I use it in its most neutral form, at being electronic dance music. There were so many good songs this year, and in fact my actual list is like over 200 tracks long. But no one got time for that. No one goat. But anyways, 50 tracks it is. Don't forget, this is all opinion. I appreciate music from all genres and styles, fast and slow, loud and quiet. What's important is the music. I do take things like production quality into account, but at the end of the day, a great song will transcend all of that. That being said, let's begin the list. Oh yeah, so I'll move through quickly at first and slow down as we get further through the list. Starting off, number 50, Pegboard Nerds, Blackout, followed by GEOTHEORY, Clockwork, then Don Diablo with Tonight, Metrik, Hi, Soupandreas, that's a weird name, with Life Goes On. And then at number 45, we have JAHKOY feat. ScHoolboy Q with their song California Heaven, Medasin Remix. This is Medasin's remix of that song. Then, returning to us, once again, Justice with Safe and Sound, Rockin'. 43, Tokyo Machine, OK, followed by 1991, Sprites. Then Dombresky, Wait, Herzeloyde feat. DoDeKa with Daytime. And then at 39, we've passed 10 now. At 39, Xilent with Your System, followed by Haywyre, I Am You. And then from one of the many Mr. Bill collabs this year, Mr. Bill, Syncretia with Synaptic Signichure. At 36, we have Bali Bandits, Smack, followed by Wolfgang Gartner, who returned this year with his album. I thought the standout track was Faded. Then X&G featuring Josh Pan, Whiplash, Sakuraburst remix. Myles Jaeger, Feel So Good, awesome chords. Vindata featuring Anderson .Paak, Own Life, Rainy LaVice remix. Then Daydreamer with his debut EP. This is one of the more longest tracks on this list. I thought Traveling Light was pretty awesome. Then now we're into 30s. 30, Destructo featuring Ty Dolla $ign and I Love McConan. For Real. Wolfgang Gartner returns again on this list with the track that didn't even make it onto the album. This was a free bonus track, and it was classic, good old Wolfgang. Then Myro with Playa. It's been a pretty good year for dubstep, I have to admit. And Myro brings it back to that 2010-2011 UKF dubstep style with this really well done. Gotta give it to him there. Then Getter and Ghastly, 666. This dangerous duo team up for a rocking beat. I feel like I'm like a bouncing lowrider listening to this track. Pretty sick. Then at 26, we have Empyrean Tears with Rave Tool 41, which is a remix of Oz track Trendy. This track is hard. This track is a sucker punch straight up to the jaw. 25, Grizz, Stop Trippin', the Louis Lastic remix. Then at 24, Haywyre with Memory. Gotta love that slap bass. And of course, at 23, my list wouldn't be complete without them. Noisia with Anomaly. Noisia released their highly anticipated Outer Edges album, and Anomaly is Noisia doing what Noisia does best, making hard drum and bass that makes the ground shake. At 22, Diamond Eyes with Reboot, quite different from Noisia. Diamond Eyes comes with a sweet, touching song, and it's the chorus that really brings this song together. 21, Madison Mars with Doppler. It's a great blend of the old and new brought together under one house. 20, Snail's House with Smash. Kawaii producer Snail's House comes back with this fun, colorful video game inspired tune. It's super cute with all of these game sound effects and samples. One of my favorites being the Sonic Speed sample. It's pretty fun. And then 19, Kirby is 666. While not all Kirby's releases this year were as strong as like last year, it doesn't change the fact that he still put out a couple great tracks. 666 being my favorite of them. It features his iconic squeaky, rubbery synth style of production that goes. Then, following at 18, Mo Shop with Love Taste featuring Jamie Page and Shiki. It's a cool use of sampling combined with bass. It has this kind of menacing, badass feel. And it has the coolest use of English Vocaloid vocals that I've heard so far. I think it's pretty cool what they've done there. 17, Uth Fruit and Shaheen. These names are impossible to pronounce, but they had a track called Thorns. Just this nice warm melody and these cool staccato strings. It sounds very natural. It's lovely. It's a lovely track. Number 16, Clockwork. Anger. This track is all about its atmosphere, and that's where it succeeds so well. Reflected in its title, Anger, there's a sense of dark, lingering moodiness. The production features this burial type beat and drony bass. It has this misty and dense feel, but still with a lot of driving power in the beat. It's a good track. And then we have NATO with Poison Dart. Primarily, to me, up to this point, I thought NATO was more just of electro house, that kind of producer. But he totally blew me away with this drum and bass track that I totally didn't expect from him. And he did that with complete proficiency. It's crazy adrenaline fun. This track's just craziness. Then, Destructo, For Real, the Joyride Swerve mix. You gotta give it to Joyride to sticking to his guns. On Joyride's Swerve remix, he completely reimagines the original track by bringing what was actually quite a small part of the original track to the forefront of his remix, that being that swerve vocal. It's got this high-pitched synth that works really well, and there's just tons of different phases to the song as well. He just goes from the one thing to the next, and then, the second drop is a total different beast. Joyride has been consistently great since the beginning, and I'm glad he is now getting the recognition he deserves. Then, 13. Did I mention dubstep was having a good year? This is another track that just drives that point home, with Ray Volpe, With Me. This track has these awesome cutesy modulated vocals and vowely basses that are layered a fifth on top of each other, and these really dominant supersaws that just elevate this track to a powerhouse status. Really well produced track. And then at 12, The Chainsmokers featuring Phoebe Ryan, All We Know, the Virtual Riot remix. Let me just say this. Melodic Virtual Riot is the best Virtual Riot. Lately, since signing with Disciple, a lot of VR's output has been this dank, rhythmy type dubstep, which, definitely has a time and place. But he has such a talent for crafting these heartwarming and beautiful melodies on a grandiose scale. Tracks like Lunar, and that's why this really uplifting remix is a much-deserved addition to this top 50 list. Number 11, the upbeats with Joyrider. I feel the upbeats are often overshadowed by their Dutchy companions, Noisia, but they had a great EP, the De-Evolution Part 2, and they just remind everybody that they are a force to be reckoned with. Joyrider, which is aptly named, comes with all the adrenaline of actually stealing a car and taking it for a joyride. All right, I haven't done that, so I can't compare the two things, but I don't need to. I got this track. Number 10, that's it. We're down to the last 10. Charlie XCX and Sophie on Secret. Pop vocalist Charlie XCX teams up with producer Sophie of PC Music fame, the latter of which had a great album last year. And this track might even make some of you scratch your head. You might feel that it's kind of empty, but I'd argue that that's exactly the point. This song is about keeping a certain secret, and that theme is not only reflected in the lyrics, but the production as well. The power of the track comes in not in what is presented right in front of you, but what's hidden in the track. And, it might be a grower, this track, but I think it's really well done. Then, number 9, we have Metrik, Terminus. This early addition to 2016 still packs the same punch as it did almost a year ago. I think Metrik is a great producer and has consistent great productions. Yes, definitely one of the drum and bass highlights for me this year. Number 8, Jonathan Stein, Kata. This song was first posted to SoundCloud in 2015, but it wasn't until this year that it saw its first official release thanks to Noisia on their Division label. I would say that the intro is what makes this track, but that would only be half true. Yes, it is one of the most epic build-ups that makes me salivate in anticipation for the drop, but that would all be for naught if it didn't make good of that promise. And well, it wouldn't be so darn high on this list if it didn't. When it does drop, it's like this drum kit just being torn apart by a rift in space. It's pretty sick. Okay, and then yeah, the ending, it gets a little off the wall, but it's all in good fun. Number 7, Spitfire and December, Cut the Check. Like Myro, this dubstep is also a throwback, but less UK inspired and more from the Americanized bro step side. This track has serious My Name is Skrillex vibes with menacing bass. I'm assuming samples from like this vintage track from the 70s or 80s. And yeah, the weird, unintelligible vocals. It's really awesome. Number 6, Jerry Chicago with I Love You and Need You. This track reminds me of the many offshoots of Daft Punk, being Le Nightclub or Stardust. And it's got those great sunny, sunshine French house vibes. It's just so warm and embracing and it just makes it a joy to listen to. And then, now, top 5. Here we go. Porter Robinson and Marion with Shelter. You may have noticed on this channel, I do remakes from time to time. And that usually has the unfortunate consequence of listening to tracks over and over again until I go crazy. Especially if I'm having a hard time remaking it, it can actually leave like a bit of a sour taste for that one particular track. But when I hear the first seconds of Shelter, it all just washes away. Both of these producers come together to create a beautiful blend of each of their own sounds. I think it went over really well, and I think they made a lot of their fans happy. The second half is great as well, with a slightly alternative bass line, and it just adds that bit more. Number 4, Chance the Rapper, Blessings, James Egbert remix. There's a lot of things to like about this track. The juxtaposition between the simple opening drum beat to the drop. Those arpeggios that just rain down from the sky like hellfire, but in a very colorful and harmonic way. It just makes me smile. Now, number 3, Alejandro Okoko, or Okay. This producer seemingly came out of nowhere, but my word, this song is serene. Really sleek production style, awesome phasery chords that kind of glitch in and out. Creates like the atmosphere of a forest filled with life. And there's an element of sadness. Some feels thrown in there. Dem feels for good measure. But all in all, a blissful experience. Number 2, Boombox Cartel and Quicks, featuring and Julie, Supernatural. Supernatural isn't groundbreaking. You've probably heard these sounds before in other tracks, like the trap bass in the first drop. It has all the tropes of trap and future bass music. But that doesn't mean that Supernatural isn't flawless. It's a great execution of all these different things. And it has all the peaks and valleys. It has the perfect blueprint of this style of music, in my opinion. The raw synth in the first drop and bone-shattering bass. And that in the second drop is just a really climatic ending with an awesome lead and tremolo super saws. It's incredibly satisfying. Just ascends to an ecstatic level. Now, number 1. This is a track I'm sure you all know, but let me give you a clue. I have a pen. I have an apple. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It was a prank. It's Haywyre. Do You Don't You? Haywyre dropped his fantastic EP twofold this year. The highlight for me being the cool and refined Do You Don't You. Not every song needs to be a prominent in-your-face banger. If you were expecting a sick nasty drop, well, there are other tracks in this list that would serve you better. But this track moved me the most. It's constantly evolving in a very natural way. They're twisting vocals and does a great job of reaching and making a connection with the listener. Well, with me at least. Haywyre succeeds in connecting the bridge between modern dance music and other genres, such as jazz and funk, while remaining accessible, which opens the doors for listeners to other styles of music, very much the way how Daft Punk did with their use of sampling. Why do you think Zed took him on tour? Game, recognized game right there. And that wraps up the 2016 list. Like I said, there were many more tracks that I just wish I could put in this video, but we just don't have the time for it. But they're still all great tracks in my mind. If you had a great track that I didn't mention in this list, let me know in a comment. There's just so much good music out there that I might be missing out on some really good stuff. And this may be the last video of 2016. I don't know, but I hope you all have a great holiday. And I hope for an awesome 2017. I'm calling it now. It's gonna be lit. For those asking about donations, I added a little link in the bottom of the description, just in case you feel like leaving a little present under my Christmas tree. If you are, I'm pretty sure that's a metaphor for something. As I'm going to be building, I'm planning on building a new computer, my first computer, which should be able to result in doing more live streams without a million things crashing and making more videos in the future. So if you would like to help out, I'd be blown away. It's a little crazy, but I'd be grateful. But now I think it's time to look back and say, get out 2016 and don't come back. You're not welcome no more. Get out 2016. It's 2017's turn. It's the time for 2017 now. Get out. Go. I don't want to see you no more. I don't want to see your face in 2017 ever again, 2016. So just stay.